This year we didn't only do manual labor, but we helped in other ways too.
On Wednesday,
we were really ready to like do some more heavy lifting and like some hard physical work, so we were all pumped up.
We all came in and we were sitting there.
And then he said, well, we're going to give out $50, each of you are going to give out $50 the best you can.
And we got an envelope of $50.
He said, all right guys, everybody's pitched in and gave enough for everybody to get $50.
It's like, oh, awesome. And I was like, Oprah's big give.
I think some probably like gave a little thought of what can I do with it to myself. But then a split second after having that thought, you know, remembering what they've done over the past week, they're like, I could do something so much greater.
We each had $50 to go out and to help somebody however we wanted.
We split up into groups and there was lots of different ideas.
With the $50 that we got, like in my group, we went and we kind of got some of the $50 and we gave them out as like ones and stuff to different people.
We're in the checkout line and there's these people in front of us, and they're about to walk out. And when they're outside, Roger's already out there.
I went up to him and I was like, hi, my name is Roger Lampley. I represent Estesyouth group from Estes Church of Christ in Emerald in Henderson, Tennessee. And we love everybody. And it was cool because, I mean, we do.
And he just goes up to him and says, here, I'd like to give your daughter some of $5.
A little bit, just helping them out whatever way you could.
And the mom just goes, really? And well, thank you. And she kept repeating thank you like a bunch. And I guess it was just because, I guess teenagers wouldn't really give away $5 just for anything.
Like we went to the hospital and gave toys to children, and to see them play with their toys, and they had no other toys in their room, and some of them have been there for several months now, and it was very interesting to watch them.
We went to the kids units and we delivered the toys, and it was just their faces was just amazing.
We saw these kids playing in the driveway and we were like, well, we can give them toys and stuff. So me and Bethany, we got out and we started headed for these kids, and they were just kind of looking at us, kind of weird. And then there's this other guy like down the street saying, they're selling something. And so then we handed the kids the toys and they just kind of looked at us and they started smiling. And then some other people in our group went down the road where apparently that guy was. Apparently there was kids there. And so they started talking to him and stuff. And they were like just so happy just to have toys and to know that we actually cared.
These two kids were playing outside, and in the yard there was just like a broken pair of handlebars, and broken, you know, everything was broken down. You know, they had those little Jeeps that you would push the little pedal that all the little kids played with.
On their front porch, just sitting there, and they were like playing with just scraps of metal and stuff, and they didn't really have any toys.
And there was a boy, he looked about 5, and a girl about 7, and we showed up, and they started running into the house. They were like, strangers, strangers. And we said, but wait, we brought toys. And their eyes went, whew.
So we gave them those and we played with them for a while, and it was really cool.
And I handed the little boy this motorcycle, and he just kind of looked at me like, it's Christmas in the summer, it's Christmas in the summer. And that's what I heard throughout the week, it's Christmas in the summer. And, you know, we had $20 left. That was the last thing we did that day. We had $20 left, and you could tell that this was a bad, you know, community, and we gave it to the lady, and she's like, oh baby, no, oh baby, you keep it. You know, she starts crying. It was really amazing. But then we finally got her to take it, and she just kept repeating, it's Christmas in the summer, it's Christmas in the summer.
Some of them went by Bob Wells' place before he left, and they were able to give him some money, and he said that was just so helpful because when he got to where he was going and he was moving, that was going to help him with some of the deposit and things that he needed that he wouldn't have had otherwise. Some of the kids went to the nursing home, and not just finding things that people needed, but also trying to find people who did good things for other people.
Yeah, we went to Southern Oaks, and we asked one of the gentlemen there who was the nicest lady that was helping with them. And
they found a lady who they thought was the best nurse there, and even though she didn't really want to take it and she thought she might do other things with it, just finding people who are good people.
Madeline left a $50 tip. We used all of her $50 on a tip to a waiter. And you know, as we left out, they took the envelope, wrote the waitress' name, Amy, on it and laid it on the table.
And right when we were walking out, we looked in and she had just opened it and she started crying.
You know, she put her hand and she looked at us and just mouthed, "Thank you." That's all she could do. And she had to walk out to the back. She was so, you know, we impacted her life. I felt it was pretty cool.
We went out and found a homeless lady in Jackson, and we took her and got some clothes at Goodwill.
There was this woman on the side of the road, and we ended up stopping, and Caitlin B. and Laura took her to Goodwill, and she could buy some clothes.
And then we gave her a few bucks for a bus ticket to wherever she was going. And we got her a place to stay for a night, which I think that was pretty cool.
They set it up so that she could stay in a hotel for the night. And she had even asked them to come back and visit that night. So after church, we loaded up the van and took a whole group of people to see her and visit with her. And at first she didn't even come to the door. I think she was kind of surprised, but when she realized who it was, we all went inside, and it was definitely a moving experience. I think not just for us, but for her as well.
If you really want to help somebody out and change a life, it just changes your life too, and you can come and just have a lot of fun, but at the same time do some really meaningful stuff.
You don't have to like tell a joke to make people smile or something. If you just do something kind or something to them. And at first people usually are like, well, I never know what to do or something, or I don't know where to start. But if you just kind of start, and at first it's a little weird, but after a while it gets easier and easier to help them.
It's great knowing that you helped somebody, and it's just life-changing.
Every time I drive by like a homeless person or something, it's just, I feel different about that.
I think what the youth group did during Workcamp is a true example of what a Christian life should be.
I've always had the back of my head, go out and make disciples in the world. Always back in my head, it always comes up every now and then. And even though they weren't going out, preaching and all that, as everyone knows, there are different ways to show God's love, and I think that every single one of those kids did.
A lot of times, like the second you come up to somebody with money or just something, just after even you help somebody out with their yard or something, just cleaning up their yard, it's just something that small really impacted them. They're really grateful.
We all got so much out of it, and everybody loved it, and we all wish we could have had more time, because every day we would ask Brad what we were doing, and when we found out, it was so cool, but then it had to end, and that was the sad thing.
We actually moved buildings because there was a sunroom that some lady needed moved, and we moved it for her, and it was like £1 zillion, but
anything's possible.
Yeah.